For something a little bit different today, I am on the water at Noosa about to pick up my special guest. This guy's been in real estate for 4 years. He's already writing over 1.8 million in GCI. But something that you might not know about him is that he's actually done the Sydney to Hobart 10 times. So let's pick him up.
Hey mate, how you going?
Adrian Reed. Cheers.
Cheers, welcome aboard.
Yeah, welcome aboard, absolutely.
Don't crash the boat.
What does Adrian Reed drink?
Strong latte.
Strong latte.
Double shot.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that. How long have you been in real estate for now?
4 years.
Wow.
In total. I had a father who was an agent in Noosa for 20, 25 years and one of the sort of legends in town. So I had a fair understanding before I kind of cracked into it.
So what were you doing before real estate?
Mate, 15 years fast moving consumer goods. So marketing, sales, worked with Kellogg's for 10 years and Carlton United Brewers for 5. Very much a corporate life.
What got you into real estate?
It's an interesting one because you're coming away from having a father who was very, very good at it. So there was always
a bit of pressure.
Like, oh, I don't know if I do this and I don't succeed. It's a big one. Right? That's a big blow. So I'd always sort of wanted to do it, and I'd resisted for a long, long time. I did some Hobart races with Paul White from Ray White Real Estate, and he was always at me. He's like, "You should do it. You should do it." Yep. One of the things that I couldn't sort of stop playing in my head is he said, "Whatever you do, work where you want to live. Real estate is part of your life, and where you live and where you work, all sort of
so true.
merge together." I went home and I had dinner with my wife, and I said, "Well, this is what Whitey said, and I can't get it out of my head." And she's like, "Well, where do you want to live?" And I said, "Well, I think Noosa." And she goes, "Well, she grew up there too." She's like, "Noosa."
Wow. We've got a kayak coming across us. Have we got right away? Like,
let's just power on, mate.
Can we just power on?
Yeah.
I reckon so. You've written over 1.8 million in the last 12 months.
Yep.
4 years in, most people are going to be watching this going, "I'm happy writing 180 after 4 years." Not 1.8 million.
Yeah.
What did you do when you first got into it?
I sort of tapped Dad on the shoulder and said, "Look, I wouldn't mind coming back, and starting real estate. Would you work with me?" And he's like, "Yep, no problem." So we spooled him up about 6 months before I got there, just to get the Reed brand back out in the marketplace. It's all about brand. Given that he's got such a fantastic reputation, it just spooled it back up almost immediately.
Yeah, right. Wow.
And I wound him out probably 6 months after me getting there. So we had sort of 6 months without me, 6 months with me, and then we kind of like dialed him back out. But left his brand in the market.
Yep, right.
And then we just ran from there.
Wow, that's fabulous.
Yeah, built a team and off we went.
Elaborate on what you mean by branding's everything.
I think in a small town like Noosa, it goes beyond how pretty a sign is. We wanted to carve it out to be not kind of like chicy Noosa Beach, it needed to be more sophisticated, prestige, and very determined, clean, very deliberate.
For a while, people have been talking about technology is going to get rid of agents. And I actually don't think that could be further from the truth. I actually think the future is real estate agents. I don't think it's an app. I don't think it's peer-to-peer, like buyers selling directly to sellers. I think actually agents that have great knowledge and can pass that on to buyers and make them feel comfortable is the future.
Yeah.
So what do you find day to day?
Oh, I agree with you. I think great agents will be great.
Yeah.
Average agents will be eradicated.
Yeah.
And technology is allowing us to take away some of the time-consuming process.
Yeah.
So that we can invest more time into the things that truly count. And that is about engaging with people, building trust, sharing knowledge, and helping them through a process quickly.
So good.
And if you can do that, you're adding value. And if you can't do that, you really have to question what your role is in the process, especially in the future. You need to be an outstanding marketer in lots of different channels and lots of different platforms. You need to be a superb communicator. You need to build relationships, and you need to be able to negotiate. And I think that there's some agents that have some skill set in areas and fail in others. Or can't close, can't do. Or great marketers, or so finding that the ability, or being able to share knowledge and train people to be capable on all of those fronts.
Yeah,
that's the space we need to be in.
Yeah. So mate, this boat, how do you use it? How do you actually use it? Do you use it for your work?
Yeah, all the time. I'll put clients on the boat and we'll drive around the waterfront, and we'll unpack the market really quickly. And what we can achieve in 35-40 minutes on the boat, it would take weeks of someone doing research. So offer up your time, engage your buyers, share knowledge that is currency. Effectively. You're doing a lot of different things. You're building their knowledge, you're building their trust, and your ability then to close a deal, either within the buying range, or above market,
Yeah.
then that's I don't know how people do it without sort of spending proper time with their buyers.
Yeah.
One of the things I brought away, I guess I took away from my corporate life, was your reputation's indivisible. You can never detach yourself from it, right? So just do the right thing every time, and you
Love
build
that.
your personal brand.
Let's talk about sellers for a while, because what do you do to service your sellers?
So once we go to market, our focus shifts into finding a buyer, right? We're just really clear about that communication to go, hey, look, you're going to get a lot of intensity early from me. That intensity needs to move to the market. You'll get updated, and we'll stay in touch with you. We'll communicate with you clearly around what the feedback is and the transparent price and any objections and anything that we can maneuver through the campaign.
Yep.
But we will move our energy, across. And I think once they understand that, it becomes a much easier sort of process. And,
Yep.
and ultimately, we spend a lot of time trying to share transparent feedback, making sure they're clear around where price sits, where the market is, what they're competing against, so they can make really firm commercial decisions. And a lot of the guys we're dealing with, because we're in sort of that, I guess, the upper end of the market, all commercial backgrounds,
Yep.
ex-leaders of business.
Yep.
My belief is that brands are built at hand-to-hand combat, face-to-face, genuine connection. That could be in the field when you're buying or selling. In our business, we engage our community and our loyal followers and our raving fans on a very high frequency. We have built a brand very quickly.
Yeah.
In 1 year, we've scaled to probably third biggest agency, and we're definitely third biggest agency in Noosa,
Yep.
and sort of top 8 in the Sunshine Coast, and we're up in the sort of top 3% in the state.
Wow,
now.
that's so good.
But we've done that, through great digital marketing, really finessed print, a little bit irreverent, very polished. But then we've engaged at a hand-to-hand combat level. We've run 13 keynote sessions in our office, focusing on high performance, entrepreneurship, and a whole bunch of other elements where we're engaging, our client base. That's ultimately where true brands are built, right? Face to face,
Hand to hand. I like that.
And I can tell everyone, my competitors will be watching this, right? But the truth is, they won't do it.
No.
Because it takes a heap of work.
Yep.
You need to have a belief that you're going to get a result long term.
I'm going to do a really slow donut here.
Yeah.
Because you were with an agency,
Yep.
and now you've started your own.
Yep.
Like, tell us the highs and the lows of running your own business.
When we started the business, one of the key principles around it is that real estate's going to change. There will be dramatic change over the next sort of 3 to 5 years. Hey, here's a shock. It's there's change coming.
Yeah.
And if you thought it changed quickly in the last 2 years, you wait for the next 5, mate.
Yeah.
It's going to be wicked.
Drastic.
So
Yeah.
we believed a few things. We knew we were on a burning platform. We knew that we're in an age where building a brand was going to be easier, faster, more cost effective than ever. And we also believed that ego was the killer of innovation and collaboration, right?
100%.
And collaboration was going to be one of the keys for scaling quickly. We just set out with that as our platform. And every decision we make, goes back to those principles. And that ultimately is what's allowed us to achieve what we've achieved.
Challenges of leaving an agency and starting your own?
Look, nothing major. Hurdles like bullshit legal stuff, competitors getting threatened and being a bit silly.
Look at this T-boat trying to play chicken with us. Can we just knock them out as well?
Power it up.
Yeah, power it up. If you could go back to day one with everything that you've learned over the last 4 years, 10,000 hours, and you could give yourself one piece of advice, what would you say?
It's probably not going to be easy.
Has it been harder than you thought?
No, because this is the thing. Like, I knew it was going to be difficult because I saw how much work my father did for 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for a 5-day week somewhere down the track. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not in my.
Yeah.
I signed on to this from day one. Go all in, commit. If you can surround yourself with good people, find great leaders, and draw down on their experience, because you will fast track your career. Get very focused on consumer and on customer service. Create raving fans.
Yeah.
And build a personal brand.
Yeah.
Because your personal brand is your vehicle. It is, it is absolutely critical for you to scale. People need to know who you are, what you do, what you stand for.
Yeah.
And I think that if you can do that, and there's never been a better time.
No. And don't knock people over on their kayaks on the Reed & Co boat.
Yeah, I'm watching, mate.
Yeah. Adrian, it's been a real pleasure.
Mate, absolutely. Great.
Thank you.